afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Today is a historic day in the city of Pittsburgh. We're here to announce a new partnership, a partnership that brings together the city of Pittsburgh, our large nonprofit institutions, our philanthropic community, our corporations, and our other nonprofits, under one common vision of what this city needs to do to become more equitable and to provide a long and sustaining future for the next generation. The last time a collaborative like this was created was under Mayor David Lawrence, and they recognized the situation that was at hand, that the city had become prosperous, but at a cost. The air that we breathed was dangerous. The water that we were drinking was deadly. And the Allegheny Conference sought out to bring government and corporations together in order to create public-private partnerships that would address those two critical issues. It was the first of its kind in the nation, and we stand here today to announce another first of its kind in the nation. A pilot program has been in place in the city of Pittsburgh, asking nonprofits to voluntarily make contributions. Over the 16 years since Act 47 has been introduced, since 2005, the total amount of contributions that have come back to the city in 16 years is $34 million. And of those dollars, there is no accountability, and there is no outcome that was looked at from it. Today, we're announcing a new partnership with Highmark Healthcare, UPMC, the University of Pittsburgh and Carnegie Mellon University, that will contribute $115 million over the next 5 years into a plan called OnePGH. This plan looks at 11 critical areas. It incorporates both our gender equity report and our United Nations Sustainable Development Goals in order to have measurable results that will result in a better Pittsburgh. Today, we are setting a new model for cities around the country and around the world. And we're doing it in the Pittsburgh way, by working together under one vision that allows us to see and to recognize and to measure where disparity and inequity exist within our city, and to work as OnePGH, to make results happen. This groundwork over the next 5 years will be an experiment in urban partnerships for the 21st century, just as we created the experiment in the post-World War II era. And this announcement today of the commitment of our 4 largest institutions, the rudders and the engines of today's Pittsburgh economy, recognizes how much our city has changed, but how much it is the same. And that if we all work together, everything is possible. I want to thank and start with my Chief of Staff, Dan Gilman, who has put the past 4 years of his life into this. We began this historic initiative through a grant from the Rockefeller Foundation back in 2015 of building what was then a new word, a resilient city. What did that mean? And we realized the shocks and the stresses. And from that, in 2017, we put together a new plan where we put down not only the lawsuits, but the threats of pilots, and said we can do better. In 2018, we brought together over 100 community organizations representing the key stakeholders that are on the very front row of being able to make change happen in helping those that need the most help within our city. And we brought all of their recommendations together. In 2019, we worked with Fourth Economy, with Brookings, with Harvard, and we put together a report. And that report became the draft. And in 2020, we had the conversations with the universities and the hospitals, with our corporate leaders, with our philanthropic leaders, of pulling all of this together in order to be able to create OnePGH. And in 2021, today, we are able to make this historic announcement. I'd like Dan to come up to speak and to also be able to answer some of the questions as we get into the more granular aspects of exactly what this has the potential to do and the transformation that we will see over the next 5 years.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good afternoon, everyone. As the mayor said, what today is a statement of a new 21st century model of partnership and collaboration, something that could only be born in Pittsburgh because it is the Pittsburgh way. Rather than focusing on old arguments and contracts, what today is an outcome-driven approach. It's saying, here are the needs of our city, and how do we all work together to do it? How do we continue to strategically align the amazing contributions of our largest philanthropies? How do we take advantage of the expertise of our world-class universities and hospitals? How do we build off the strength of our corporate community and the history that we have? And that's where you get this OnePGH model. And when we started, one of the first things we had in there was an all year-round, low-barrier homeless shelter, a recognition that we needed to do more, not just with a place to sleep, but with social services, job training opportunities, and health care. An opportunity for every Pittsburgher who needs help, who's facing housing insecurity, to get the assistance they need. And with a $10 million contribution from the PNC Foundation and $6.75 million from both Highmark Health and UPMC, as well as contributions from the philanthropic community, donation of land from the city, a true Pittsburgh partnership, that building is under construction. We can already take one of our initiatives and check it as complete. That is the vision. It is not about who did what. It is about the center that can be there for someone in need. It's not about how much does a park cost. It is about making sure that every child lives within a 10-minute walk of a quality park or playground. It's not about how large your affordable housing trust fund is. It's about how many units can you create through leveraging dollars to provide housing opportunity for every Pittsburgher in every neighborhood. It's the outcome-driven approach of partnership that we're announcing today. The $115 million over the next 5 years is an at-least number. It's what we can stand here and say we believe is there over the next 5 years. It's coming through direct donations. It's coming through services that are going to be provided. It's coming through support to other nonprofits to take the initiatives. It's coming through administrative support to OnePGH. UPMC will be creating a $40 million affordable housing opportunity where they will use that money in giving to different funds to leverage thousands of affordable units. Highmark Health is committing $5 million a year over 5 years, as is UPMC, to OnePGH initiatives. Initiatives like our Office of Community Health and Safety and Co-Responder Model. Initiatives like Thrive on the North Side. Initiatives like Quality Parks. Working with them at social determinants of health to figure out where their mission can align with these key goals for our region. The University of Pittsburgh is continuing their great work that they have done with community engagement centers, green infrastructure, working with their Graduate School of Public Health to provide opportunities within the rec to tech world and healthy living in our senior healthy active living centers. Carnegie Mellon is committed to investing new dollars in community recreation, supporting entrepreneurship and quality K-12 education in our educators, in our avenues of hope. And we believe today is just the beginning. Just as you saw with the low barrier shelter, where our corporate community, our philanthropies, our nonprofits, and government came together and we checked that box, we can do that for these other initiatives. We can make sure that every neighborhood and every person is living in not only the most livable, but the most equitable city. And we can do it following those two key reports the mayor mentioned, our UN SDG model and our gender equity report recommendations. And as you go through this report, you will see every initiative aligned to those, because those will be our North Star and our roadmap in this new partnership. I want to thank the leadership and the staff at the philanthropies within the corporate community, and especially with our 4 largest public institutions who have been at the table with me for 4 years, getting to this point of the greatest opportunity to leverage our success, our talents, and our dollars through partnership to change the lives of Pittsburghers. With that, I do want to introduce just a couple people who are with us. Some members of the initial OnePGH board. That board is likely to grow and change. But we have the Honorable Valerie McDonald Roberts, former city and county elected official. We have Vince Quattrini, an attorney at law and a longtime board member of other local foundations who brings incredible expertise in the foundation and nonprofit management. Lindsay Powell, who's the Assistant Chief of Staff for the city. Grant Irvin, our Chief Resilience Officer. And I want to take a moment and give it a special thanks to Rebecca Kiernan, who is behind me, who is a Senior Resilience Planner within the Department of City Planning and is the key author and architect of the actual document, only through about 117 revisions, including in the last 5 minutes. So we deeply appreciate her unwavering support. I am also on the board, as is Melanie Ondek, our Senior Grants Director for the city. Also, Bob Nelkin is on the board as well as the CEO of Amachi Pittsburgh, Anna Thorpalis.